Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Board Games Live, and Devin and I are doing a discussion over Kingdom Death Monster.
Death.
The
Never played
Gambler's
this
Chest.
before. This is wild.
I know, right? It's like we've, we haven't done a whole series on it. That was, God, dude, that would have been like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, forever ago. Yeah, we're doing a discussion over the Gambler's Chest and the Big Net of Death with the Millennium Butcher. Might touch on that towards the end, but. A few caveats. As you can tell, we are not at my place, so
I don't know where we're at.
yeah, I have no idea. We're in someone else's house.
Yeah,
It's
it's
broken.
fucking creep.
This isn't even
Way too indicated.
Yeah, you're like, what's the novelty? We broke into his house because it's his favorite game. That guy's gonna eventually come across our videos.
Yeah.
So I don't have my mic, so forgive the audio if it's horrendous. But there is a few caveats because years and years ago, we did a discussion over Kingdom Death Monster. That is probably one of my most disliked videos, I would imagine, just because like I have no idea because I don't look at like stats or anything. But I imagine just us like me and like Kat and Josh like shitting on it. And you're the only one like it's my favorite game. So that took forever before the Gambler's Chest came out. And I was an advocate against KDM that entire time, like doing everything in my power to convince you it wasn't great, to try and get you to sell it. It's like, look, every time a new game came out that was like it, I'm like,
Oh, look, it's only $400.
it's only $400. Oh, look at that, it's $300. And look at the minis, they're amazing. Oh, look at the gameplay, it's better. And then the Gambler's Chest came out, and I'm like, hey, you know what? It's been a while. You want to play it? I don't have any money soaked into the game, so sure, I'll do a campaign with you. And I gotta say, with the Gambler's Chest stuff, I have done a complete 180. I'm having a blast with the Gambler's Chest stuff specifically. Stuff that is not the Gambler's Chest, I'm not having that great of a time. But since this is your game and your domain, I'll let you take it away with all the cool Gambler's Chest stuff.
Oh man, jeez. I feel like I touched a lot of it on our Versus video.
Yeah.
Oh god, where do I even begin with it? The Gambler's Chest added several new aspects to the game. They've added pillars, so it's a new system they create. So core systems within the game, you get to decide what you want before you start your campaign. And within the Gambler's Chest, they wield every single one of these new pillars that they introduce. Several, let's see here, they have the pattern system, that's a pillar. They have the scout, which is a pillar. They have the arc survivors, that's the big pillar. That's the big new sunshiny, we love, that's making us, enjoying this a little bit more, I think, is the arc survivors.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of much else that would have changed.
Scout, hold on, I'm actually writing this down so we can talk about the survivors. Scout survivors and patterns.
Patterns. The character cards is actually, I don't know if it's a pillar or how that one operates. It's just tied to an innovation.
Okay.
But it's going to be one that's going to be a big moneymaker for them.
Yeah.
Anything that sells the additional miniatures.
Right.
And they put in a bunch of them. The patterns, the characters, all just help them sell those miniatures.
Keep them afloat until they can finally release
shit. So, by now they've had to lose so much money just from inflation.
Yeah.
You have to thank God. Yeah. I mean, I think they did what they had to do, but it sounds like they're doing okay. I don't know. I'm not on the business side. Anyway, so we're talking about pillars.
Yeah.
A lot of new things.
Well, so let me say this real quick. The overall Gambler's Chest experience, to me, feels like that they wanted it to be a more digestible experience. Because original KDM felt like this is hard for the sake of being hard. Like the comparison was always to Dark Souls. Vague, story that you have to kind of piece together through wherever you can get the info. And then the Gambler's Chest, in comparison, feels like Elden Ring. It's like, hey, only kind of hardcore players can do Dark Souls, but new players can do Elden Ring. Because original KDM was so brutally difficult that it was just, roll, one, dead, boom, you're gone.
Well, they've added several quality of life measures that honestly the core game needed.
Yeah.
And they've kind of packaged it together with the arc survivors in a way. So, the main, let's see here. what's some examples? So the first one that comes to mind for me is with the collective cognition system. So that encourages you to go after higher level monsters. So
Right.
they've done several things to make. So in previous KDM, going after high level monsters was just unappetizing.
Right.
It's like I get a similar amount for going after level 2, and I don't have to worry about a party wipe.
Yeah.
But this game has added so much more carrot, as Finn would say, versus the stick. So you get so going after level 3, I get a bunch of collective cognition.
Mm-hmm.
So depending on the level of the monster, you get that much collective cognition, an accumulative system. So like if you have 36, you unlock this card, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So it just adds benefits to the settlement just for getting higher numbers, fighting a variety of monsters.
Yep.
So also they added the indomitable resources. So going after level 3 unlocks unique resources to that monster that will unlock a new unique weapon armor for that creature.
Yeah.
So that's helped the game in structure.
Yeah. Because we went after higher level monsters quicker than we ever would. I remember the
Yeah,
initial.
it encourages you to, which
Yeah.
it needed so bad. Because
And-
how many level 2s did we fight before? Tons.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like a level 3 is scary.
Or you're like, God, these characters. We finally got someone who's built well. We don't want them to die or age out. So
Yeah.
we'll stay on 2s or 1s.
Yeah, so it definitely needed that, because it's like, the free pick what you want. You can still do that, you just don't get the benefits. You don't get the
Yeah.
indomitable resources, and you don't get the collective cognition.
Yeah.
And that's enough to encourage you. So,
Yeah.
you need that.
Yeah.
Second is the allowance of mixed armor sets, I think helped quite a bit.
Yeah, that's true.
Then that was introduced with the collective cognition, that's the clothed and satiated, so that every character, it's essentially, so you can wear, as long as you're wearing 3 pieces of armor, you
Yeah.
have a gear set.
Right.
And you can mix it and you get a 1 to every location. So that means you're going after level 2s a lot sooner,
Mhm.
and you're more confident about it.
Which means
and
you get
it's-
more resources.
yeah, and then it's easier to go after level 3s in the long run. So
Yeah.
both of these were, I think, were the big things that made the early game a lot smoother and easier to transition to the higher scale of play that I think they're shooting for here.
Yeah, no, exactly. And what's great is that, so for the record, we'll probably do a secondary discussion because we're not done with the entire campaign. We're on Lantern Year 19 at this point. So we haven't fought the Gambler, and we haven't fought the King, and we haven't fought the God Hand. We fought everyone
Phoenix
else.
still sucks. So.
Yeah, Phoenix is still trash, and that's the thing. It's like the Phoenix sucks because they didn't do anything to change it. That's why I'm saying all the new stuff, the Crocodile, the Smog Singers, Atlas, the Black Knight,
What's it be?
I think that's it.
Yeah, those are
Those are all the new ones. The Butcher still sucks. The Hand still sucks.
I mean,
well, he's easy.
I mean, I like the Butcher still.
The Butcher, the Hand was awful to fight, but the
Yeah.
Phoenix is atrocious still.
The aging is just a bummer.
Yeah, so they didn't, any of the old stuff they didn't change yet, as of right now. But all the new stuff, it's fun to fight. In fact, they come up with really creative ways to even make you, like, they're so unique. The Crocodile is, I mean, you fight them a lot, and in our scenario, the Smog Singers are like these pushover choir boys that we just like beat the shit out of, and they gave us an opportunity to be like, hey, just leave us alone, and now they give us, anytime we depart, if we don't fight them, we get max survival. And it's like, okay, we're just gonna leave them alone. So it is kind of getting a little bit dull because we're fighting the Crocodile over and over and over because we
Yeah.
want that, but that's our
And
choice.
avoiding the Phoenix right now, it just
It's
kind of
just
cuts down.
awful. But they made it, I agree, they allowed the ramp up of resources to come in, which then allows you to get the gear sets that you want and the items that you want, so that that innately just stacks up into every survivor is viable versus like, well, guess we'll fight the lion again so someone can get one thing and no one else gains anything. Like, how many encounters or settlement phases do we have so many endeavors that I'm just like, I don't know what to spend them on. Like, my characters are built.
Yeah.
I'm good. And to me, that feels very freeing. Because like I said, it's kind of like going into Elden Ring where it's like, oh man, I have so much opportunity to actually help us throughout these fights instead of just every fight being like, this is fucking annoying, this is annoying, you know, like it was in the original stuff. So I am thoroughly enjoying everything that they added, almost everything that they added. So the Ark Survivor stuff, is that where the philosophies come from?
Yep. So philosophies, knowledges. I'm not 100% sure if it's coupled with collective cognition. I think it is. I think it's part of collective cognition.
Okay.
I think they're one and the same.
So what are your thoughts on the philosophies?
Philosophies? Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
You know, I wish that, I mean, yeah, it's a lot of bookkeeping and it sucks.
it is.
You're gonna
Get
have-
the app. The scribe for KDM is
Yeah.
a
Yeah,
godsend.
whoever made that killed it. Yeah, with all this information that you have to tack down, and as much as it changes, as liquid as it is, like, God, writing it down and erasing it
Dude.
would be miserable.
That's true, yeah, and the app man does a lot of the minor bookkeeping of adding and subtracting a bunch of stuff that you just do on the app.
Without that, yeah, this would be a lot of bookkeeping.
That's true.
Very stressful. But where was it? What was this question specifically?
Specifically about these philosophies,
philosophies,
that you just slowly unlock.
Yeah, so they remove.
Oh,
so
there's even some in here I've never seen. I haven't even seen.
there's several level 2s
Wow.
and level 3s that we have unlocked.
Wow. Okay. So these philosophies are so thematic and so neat that they kind of just evolve your character in a way. Now, I went into this campaign making a meme character. I was like, you know what? You told me that whips were trash, like in KDM. I'm like, I'm gonna make a character, name him Whippy Bobby, and no matter what, when he dies, it's Whippy Bobby the second, the third, the fourth. And he ends up being pretty gross. His whip is coming into so many situations that it's like, oh wow, this is
Yeah.
actually amazing. But through
Eaten 3 survivors.
yeah, so through one of the philosophies, which is, I guess, spoiler, but it's homicidalism, and that sounds like it'd be awful, where it's like, oh, you just kill all your survivors and you
Yeah.
don't gain anywhere. It's pretty much been our entire crux of how
Yeah.
we've been winning.
It's very, very powerful. Yeah.
Like, all that does is you do kill survivors, and any survivors who start gaining stuff, they're most likely gonna be the victim, but the homicidalism character will, like, gets a knowledge called,
Dark Impulse.
Dark Impulse, which is like, hey, if you're next to a survivor, spend a survival and you kill him, and all of his positive attributes you get.
Yeah.
Then there's no downside to that. So what we've been doing is it's like, oh, that person has a lot of attributes that he's gained, we're just gonna give him nothing.
Before he ages out, let's
Yep,
eat him.
Yep, we just kill him, and then it's like, boom, that stacks, and then we've just been cycling that, and just a perpetual increase of stats, with no downside. So that's just something really cool that you can choose to go after. And this knowledge deck,
Yeah, the way, so yeah, versus fighting arts, where you can actually kind of cultivate
yeah,
them, like, so like, oh, this is a cool knowledge, I want this to be more powerful, and be more available to the settlement.
yeah.
So it's like, and the fact that when you level it and then everyone else can kind of level it,
Mhm.
it's just, it's great. It feels like it's more beneficial towards the settlement versus an individual survivor. It's like, oh, I got
Yes.
these cool fighting arts on this one survivor.
Exactly, and
I
it doesn't
mean-
feel so random, because fighting arts felt like, oh, you just got this, and it's like, well, that's not beneficial to anything on this character.
Just
Um,
kind of random. Sometimes they cobble together. It's rare that you actually get to fully put one together. Some events will let you do that.
With fighting arts.
Yeah, there's a few rare events that just say, oh, pick fighting arts, pick your disorders,
Yeah,
and craft your character.
yeah, and then the knowledge, yeah, like you said, is like, oh, to level up Chosen, you get to erase observations using this knowledge, and that increases that. There are some that are really bad, like, hey, you cannot roll enter 10s, if it becomes a 10, it flips to a 1.
Right.
And it's
right.
like, okay, maybe that turns into something really
Yeah,
good.
that's a hard fucking road to walk.
Yeah, some are a lot easier than others. Others, hey, every time you get a bleeding token, hey, take this box up. But you can actively aim for those. They're goals. And it's like, this will eventually, once it's leveled up, most likely turn into something great. And then you can be like, oh, hey, during the settlement phase, that popped out. We have the resources called Lumai to spend. So let's give it to this character, who now has a really cool build.
Mhm.
Everything just feels a lot more liquid without it being like, oh, well, there's the one character that's gonna carry. Let's try and do everything we can to make sure that he doesn't age or doesn't die.
Yeah.
And one person's having fun, The knowledge system is just fantastic.
I mean, they've also added settlement events to the deck that have kind of helped some more beneficial and balanced. I feel rather than it helps kind of water it down from the terrible ones that are in there. And anything to kind of reduce their likelihood of appearing is great.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
So with the unique monsters now, the unique bosses that you fight, are there any that you actually don't like?
Of the new pile,
Yeah.
I mean, they're all certainly unique, and it's like when you put them side by side with creatures in their own node, they're not too bad. Like,
Yeah.
I like the Crimson Croc. I mean, yeah, he's definitely he's harder than the White Lion, but he's unique enough that his fights are spicy.
Yeah.
Like, they're cool. There's a lot of different things that can occur. And he's a little more varied. The armored location, his behaviors, the way he kind of blocks your insanity, way more complicated than the White Lion. He's like, Round, I might grab you. I'm gonna run away, come back.
You're the lion.
I mean, he's the first node one, which is that's how you learn the game.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they've made them more challenging options. At the Crimson Croc, and then you got the Smog Singers, which you would compare to the Antelope. Which is funny, both prey creatures, I guess you could say.
I guess, yeah. The Smog Singers, when we first fought them, I was like, wait, so they don't want us to fight? Like, that's unique. That it's not just some creature. They're just like, please leave. They cower.
Really,
And you get I can't remember what it's called. You get guilt for hitting them, and then there's one you can hit them, and they run away, and then you can spend a survivor to chase after them. It's give them a wedgie, pink belly, and Indian burn.
God, I remember the first time we fought them, and I'm just like, are we doing this right? Because we're just steamrolling these guys. But goddamn, I know one time I fought them, and they got all their damage cards, and all their damage is vibration, so it's just
it hits every armor location.
Well, it doesn't hit every one. It's just every point is resolved individually.
That's right.
And you get to choose where it goes.
That's right.
So eventually you'll have no armor. So they do more when they do damage you. They do more than the average bear.
Yeah. They kind of eventually there's a tipping point where they're now they're starting to get pissed off. And they were interesting. It's we haven't fought a level 3 for them because we've just been wanting the survival. But it's man, I wonder what their level 3 is.
I have to say, I definitely, playing KDM here lately, this last campaign, their monsters are really cool. They're all unique and they definitely operate so differently. Savage 1, the game is swingy, but it's nice that the monsters, they actually have personality and you see them they have theme, which is really cool.
Unless you fight Atnus and happen to have the perfect counter.
Perfect counter, and just remove no sparks of joy for you.
Yes, and they have new armor sets, which are super cool, like the Crocodile's a bone armor set, which is not armor set, but bone set, that's built around bleeding tokens and getting stronger from bleeding. Smog Singers actually use instruments, and it's a really good armor set, but it's PIPA, I think, lets you remove archived wound things to give every weapon savage. And it's that's been disgusting because we've had high luck characters that it's they're almost always
early.
The very first.
It's made our campaign pretty smooth sailing.
And of course it went to Whippy Bobby as it should. And whenever you crit and it's all those are archived, now it's just savage. So. But what's funny is Atnus, who's the child eater, I want to see pop off more because the first time we fought him, I was oh yeah, this is gonna be exciting.
Oh, I thought
But the first thing we did was all of his mood cards are just gone.
Yeah.
So he's just a sad, dementia riddled old man who used to be a master, but then he's and we're just
it's after the Smoke Singers, and we're just beating on an old guy. It's his cards are just fall down, cry,
shit your pants, lose, forget who you are.
Yeah.
And it's
I feel bad.
It's just, okay. And we look around, you guys said he was a sword master? No, not him. No, but that guy. The hands waiting in the back he's just disappointed. Even I wouldn't attack him. We thought everyone said he was a sword master. That's my dad. But we got to see a little bit more because we just fought a level 2. He finally did do some sparks of joy stuff, but even then, we're so I don't think I've seen any characters since I've played that had stats as stacked as the 2 characters I have. What's their innate strength? 15. on top of the Legion thing that we have, that if everyone has Legion, you add 1 strength for everyone who has it. So
Yeah, so when we put it on everybody, so everyone has an extra 5 strength.
yeah.
Jeez.
So we have no problem wounding as of right now. Now level 3s might ramp up a little bit more.
I'm ready for the king. I'm excited.
I am excited for the Gambler, I'm excited for the King, and I'm excited for the God Hand because I hated the Hand fighting him again because again nothing was changed. But the God Hand is designed with the Gambler's Chest, so I'm really excited to see what he does. And obviously, like you said, all the bosses, their theme is amazing. Every single one that you tell me about, like the guy that has the inverted thing where he's just standing upside down,
Oh, yeah.
that's just so badass.
Right.
But yeah, so out of all the and the Black Knight is amazing. He's so cool.
Yeah, whole unique
I just feel bad 'cause he's a
scenario.
dog.
Oh, I know.
It's like I know it's like Sif. It's like dude, I don't want to do this, but I have to. The game's making me. But so their backstories are super cool. His whole thing with the unique arena, where he just grabs you and just ricochets you off the
Yeah.
pillars, which is, I mean, that is in and of itself treacherous because you can just be like, ah, and just fall off. It's like,
Yeah.
well,
Super fun.
that was our best character, and he just fell.
Just ate
he
shit.
just fell off. Yeah, we almost lost a good character of yours.
Yeah,
that.
first round.
Yeah.
Just bounced me off 4 pillars
Right.
and threw me off the edge. That was pretty
It's
close.
yeah. So out of all the new bosses, Atlas is probably my least favorite, just because he doesn't do anything.
He hasn't popped off against
Yeah.
us. He hasn't really shown to
But-
us. We've melted him both times.
But in your other campaign, he did more stuff.
He did wake up a little bit more, but
Yeah.
still level 1.
I'm almost wondering if he's like meant. He probably lures you into a false sense of security. For levels 1 and 2, he's just
Yeah.
this pathetic old man. Level 3, he's just like.
I mean, they're definitely trying to make him like come across as silly and difficult to predict.
Yeah. Because it's like he has a 1-inch thing where it's like kind of like
Draws the blade.
He
I was like,
draws-
oh, that's kind of cool.
Right. And then he like drops it, and he's, like he laughs, he giggles, and he's this weird, creepy guy. I'm hoping level 3, like all of his stats and stuff, it's just like, oh my god, he was hustling us this whole time, or maybe not. Maybe he is just this pathetic old man. So the Ark Survivor stuff is fantastic. The patterns are super cool. We finally unlocked a whole set of armor with that, which is badass.
Yeah, because like the pattern system definitely adds more, so you get more crafting that's not tied to a location.
Yeah.
It's just kind of floating. So again, an easy modular system to shill their wares.
That's true.
God, yeah, I heard the same. What was it? Wasn't the same marketing individual? Them in Madara, I think. That's what Ben said anyway.
Oh, they go through the same.
They have like the same like
distributor?
marketing. No, like a marketing professional essentially that
okay.
advises them, that consults with them on marketing.
Interesting.
So I think Madara's kind of picking up the same thing, where like release a miniature and it has like a few cards added to it,
Yeah.
and we add just a little bit of game content.
Yeah, they do their Madara does their they're like alternate sets where it's like, okay, we're not quite hentai, so we can legally sell this at Gen Con, but if you go in the back, we actually have Rule 34 drawings. These are all 16-year-olds. They're immortal. It's like, I'm calling the cops. It's like, my favorite anime is My Wife Became an Elementary School Kid. It's like, okay! We're gonna go, I'm selling your game.
Jesus
That is a real anime, for the record.
Jesus
I've
Christ.
seen all the memes on fucking.
Jesus.
It's anime.
Anime.
But yeah, and even some of the drawings on this, I'm just like, there it is. There's the old Adam Boots that I know. But most of the stuff I think is great. There was actually one thing in the Gambler's Chest that I don't like, and it's the Scout.
Scout.
The Scout is something I feel like that this is more of a play style thing that you and I just kind of we keep him there, and because thematically the Scout's meant to just be that hey thematic tie-in on how you get your shit back if you party wipe, but then they made it a character, so it just kind of adds to the extra character and adds to the hunt phase.
It's cool because it's like, one, it's a 5th survivor, so anything incorporating survivors like endeavors and whatnot benefits.
Yeah.
So you more potent, but the risk of a full-on, like if the scout dies and then you wipe,
Yeah.
it's gone. It's curtains. Your
Right.
your campaign is done.
Pretty much, yeah. If the characters that we are actively utilizing die, it's tough at this point in the game.
So,
But
they give you the tools to keep the scout alive, more or less.
Yeah,
So, it's
so-
just if you try to get bold with him, you know, turn him
yeah,
into
I
like
think
a
he's
combatant.
finally. I think I had him attack the Black Knight because we had one hit point. We were all knocked down or out of the way, and it's like let's see if he can do it. But the way we've been using it is kind of as what he thematically represents. He has a stone thing, and that it's like, okay, he hides, and he's just out of the way. So it's almost like, why even have him? And I feel like you can make him use, and I would love to know in the comments how people are utilizing him, because I feel like you could make him an archer. You can make him a healer to kind of, if you're running a bunch of characters who use a Muramasa and bleed tokens, you make him your bandage guy. You make him your fresh acanthus guy that he runs around and heals as like a support.
I mean, the main difficulty there is the 2 movement. If you can get decent movement on him, he has less
Does he
movement.
just have an innate 2 movement?
-2.
Oh, -2, so he's 3.
So yeah, 3 baseline.
Movement, yeah, because that's right. We gave him like the set that increased the movement. Yeah, you're right, because he has that pack. Yeah, I mean, I feel like he could be more utilized in the way we are doing it, but again, if the campaign isn't going your way, that you aren't getting resources, and it's just another
Extra slots. So I like using them for resource generation. So anything I need, like my pickaxe, my
Yeah,
sickle. I mean, he has his cloak. You know, I like the
lantern that lets us draw 2 story events.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
unique gears.
He's
very
a
powerful.
utility character, and I get that he's a scout. He's not meant to be a fighter.
Yeah, that alone is nice, being able to mitigate the summon events. That there's
So-
gear for that.
It is, I mean, I guess that is a good thing about him, is that you're not burdened with like, well, we want these utility items, but they don't fit anywhere in our grid. It allows you as characters that you're playing and fighting to actually maximize your 3x3 grid, because he can at least hold 2. Can you increase his slots or is it always a 2x2?
It's just-
No, okay, I didn't know if there was like an item, like a backpack that you could give him.
Upgraded scout.
Yeah, an upgraded scout. So, but he's there, like, again, it's not bad, but it's just kind of like, oh yeah, I forgot we have to pick a scout. Whatever, it's this guy. And sometimes, I mean, they have special scout events that it makes it annoying, where it's like, oh, I can't anymore, I need you be the scout, and it's like luckily we had a character who was literally holding a cleaver, and he was naked, so it's like, because he's a bone guy, so he has natural 6 armor, and it's just like, oh, that didn't affect us, but imagine if you had a full kitted out party, and he's just like, no, you do it, and you have to drop all your shit, because he does it.
Right.
It's like, I hate you. How can I move, man?
I'm gonna choke you out so hard.
When we get to the settlement, like our first murderer was killing people with a whip.
It was great. What was the event was? It was one of the Ark Survivor events, and it was you had a homicidalist, and somebody had eaten all the rations. It was the first fucking scout. And we had homicide, so you just killed the scout. Just fucking kill him with your whip.
Yeah, like we could turn around and see the gate, and then it's like,
You're like, you ate too much.
we can go back. No, we're too far gone. Like he just over exaggerated. That guy, like Whitney Bobby.
Campfire talk after that. It was just silence. There's no talk. It was,
So guys, I may have overreacted, but you gotta agree, he was annoying. Like that guy was that was his 13th reason. That's like the old married couple. Just right, just waited, and it is great. So the scout out of all the new stuff is my least favorite. Everything else is fantastic. Like I mean, until we get to the end of the campaign, and it's like, oh well, the goddamn one shot us. That sucks. But we don't know yet.
yeah, we'll see.
So, with that being said, we'll touch a little bit on the Vignette of Death, the Kalenian Butcher. What do you think?
Oh,
Because
really cool.
we literally just did it.
Yeah, it is really neat. I think they have really unique gear grids. Very unique.
I mean, I hate what it's based on because I actually don't like the movie at all, but I think it is cool that, that they did a twist on it like Liza P did.
Yeah.
Because it's based off Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's neat. Very interesting. They're like, huh, it's 4. What else? What other piece of media uses 4 characters?
That's true.
But really cool. Yeah, very unique. They definitely have some interplay.
Are
which
all
is-
these items buildable?
So some of them I haven't seen. It might just be from expansions that I haven't purchased yet.
Oh,
I wasn't
wow.
fast enough for. So most of hers is like the
The
stone
regenerating
mask.
armor points?
I don't know about that. Yeah, the ring I know is an item. I know
Okay.
most of hers.
Okay. Like
Um,
the dragon armor?
Yeah, all
That's
this
cool.
I know it's because I have the survival spear. I haven't seen the photo for. I'm not sure where the protein charm comes from. A lot of her stuff's unique. The locking tome, memento
The
blade.
glasses,
The
the
glasses.
regular glasses.
Yeah, the regular
I can
glasses.
see.
But a lot of her stuff's tied from the Slender Man
Oh, okay.
for the Gloom Cream and the Gloom bracelets. And she has the Archivist robe, which is an item that we can build.
Okay. And then
All of his stuff I haven't seen before.
yeah, utilizing heart tokens. So
That's
for
very-
people who don't know, what's the theme for the Galenium Butcher?
What was it? What was Oz we said?
Oh, it was Wizard of Oz, but like it's a twist on it. Like why are they fighting the Galenium Butcher?
Oh, because they want a wish granted.
Yeah.
Like you go after the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, so basically it's a vignette, so it's a one shot.
Yeah, so we're sent to hunt. They lose their real names and are sent to hunt a butcher who currently has the wish of the frozen star, or however it went.
Oh, when you wish upon a star.
Wish
Got
upon,
it.
and we are to take it from him.
Yep. So we all get our own wish, which apparently we had Brave be the one to give the killing blow, which ended up I guess everyone else's is like a solo thing, but his is the only one that ties for everyone else. He just sims for everyone.
I mean, yeah, he's the only male in the battle party, and he sims with the
Is
girl.
he?
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Hollow
he
is female.
Yep, you're right. Yep. So 3 females, and then this guy who's just like, we could be friends. We could be more than friends. No, I don't think so.
Chill out.
Yeah, look, you're smothering me. You're kind of cringe. But it is cool. It makes sense a little bit because, like, he gets buffed if he's encouraged, and you can encourage him while he's standing,
Yeah.
which gives him heart tokens, which he spends to do extra strength or speed or
Mhm.
block. And he actually has a life elixir, which is hey, first time you would die from a severe injury, you don't. Out of all 4 characters, even though I was just dick the entire fight, I liked her the most.
Mhm.
The regenerating armor points, where it's like, hey, I'm monster controller, extra 3 on everything.
Yeah.
But with the empty vessel, where it's like, if you ever run out of all of them, you just,
Disappear. You're empty inside.
yeah, you cease to exist, which makes sense around the Tin Man.
Mhm.
It is cool. I think this vignette is better than
The
the
Giga Lion.
Lion.
See here, the Giga Lion. I
I
mean,
think
I've
they have
liked
a
both
theme.
of them. It's nice to have to see what KDM can be in like a balanced, because like either you're either underpowered or things don't go your way,
Yeah.
or you are fucking overpowered and smear it.
Right.
And this one is just nice to kind of have a balanced situation where
Mhm.
a
I'm
little
not
tit
gonna
for
lie,
tat.
I was at that point where I was referring back to my old KDM thoughts, where I was annoyed. One, because the very first attack was my leap, which was into the trap, and I was annoyed because I thought it was the campaign, which it wasn't. I thought we were doing the Black Knight mini campaign. I'm like, oh dude, this fucking sucks. Like we're gonna die, and how does this carry over? But then I realized, oh, I'm just jaded from having OP characters in our actual campaign.
And this would be a good, the cool things about the vignettes is they're nice pre-set up fights that you can show new people
That's true.
to introduce them to the game. Like, okay, this is kind of what a KDM is good. Like, so this is, it says on these cards, this is them at Legend Year 16.
That's what that was. Okay,
Yes.
I was like, what is that? Is that a timer?
So that's that's their power level right now is
Okay.
mid-game power level, mid-late in that. Well,
Yeah,
I guess
or-
no, they're 30 years, so it's right at mid-game.
Yeah, that's true. Because we're at 19 in our actual campaign, and granted, we're busted right now. Because he's 2, like he's level 2.
Playing from Galaxy S10e.
Yeah, shut up.
Okay, so that, yeah, and it feels about right. Like, we were knocked down a lot, ran through his trap a lot, and which was just annoying.
Yeah, because Kalanian Butcher removes his fast target, so he was just. This is gonna be the trappiest nemesis you're gonna run into.
Yeah, he is which again, with the spear, you're able to kind of
Mhm.
hopefully negate to open them up a little bit more.
Yeah.
But again, we didn't have anyone die, and it does feel balanced. Between the two, I think I like him a lot more, especially because I do think the Wizard of Oz overall theme is still kind of neat, because the other one was just survivors, just regular survivors. I don't think they had a tie-in
Yeah.
to anything. But I think that's true. You don't have to burden someone with the idea of the grid system. You can just be like, okay, here, play this character, and this is what KDM is like. If you like it, then you can now build your characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't think of anything else, unless we want to like really nitpick certain things. Do you have anything you don't like about the new stuff?
About just anything in the new stuff.
Yeah.
Um.
Specifically Gambler's Chest stuff.
Don't like. Well, I guess the release schedule more than anything. 'Cause now I'm like frustrated because I really like the Gambler's Chest.
Yes.
And now I feel like I can't play with any of my other stuff because it's not up to date.
That
So
is
I'm just
true.
sitting here frustrated until
Yeah.
Campaigns of Death comes.
But I feel like they kind of got into their rhythm. They released this.
But yeah, this makes me feel because until Gambler's Chest came out, I was worried. I was like, is Katie even gonna fucking
I thought
go anywhere?
I 100% was like they
Is it gonna
tanked.
fold or
I
something?
thought-
I was worried.
I was waiting for that where they try to sell it to a bigger company or something and hope that people start getting some of their stuff.
Yeah.
Because they could have easily tanked and been like, we're able to do the Gambler's Chest, Campaign of Death, and Inverted Campaign, and Emerald Dragon, or Ivory Dragon, all that we can't do.
Yeah. But
and like go the way of Mythic Games, where it's like, or they start asking for like, hey, to get your Campaigns of Death and Wave 4 stuff, we need an extra $500. They could have went that route, but they did release it, and then it was like rapid fire. You're like, man, like I might.
yeah, they got the Gambler's Chest, and then they did with it. Yeah, that
Black
that
Knight.
got heat. That was it. The fire started. So then,
Yeah.
okay, we were talking about KDM again. It's up to date. Still a good game. Really
Yeah.
cool. And then
There's
now
people like me who hated KDM. I was like, fuck this game.
And then now every month, so every couple months now, so we got the Gambler's Chest, and we got the Black Knight shortly
Yes.
after. I got the Frog Dog shortly after that.
Yeah.
So
Millennium Butcher.
Kalanian Butcher. So all this really cool. They're keeping the content flowing, which is very much needed.
Yeah.
So if they keep this up all the way until the final bit of the final wave,
Because Campaigns of
Yes.
Death is next.
that's
which
gonna be the next
is-
big box.
Which
That
is
looks
everything
nice.
that you're telling me. I'm like, dude.
I'm salivating.
Dude, I'm salivating. I don't even know the game.
Yeah.
And I cannot stress this enough because like I said, I hated KDM. Devin can attest to that. I tried so hard to be like, dude, get rid of it. You can make money off of selling it. To free yourself. I was like, man, do I buy KDM again?
Yeah.
but because we game together so often, it's like, no, you're KDM guy, I'm ATO guy. Well, the
And
best
every
of
other
both
campaign.
worlds. And every other campaign. Well, you have in the Nose for and stuff, but it's like between the two big ones that are lifestyle games, and we've done a versus for both the games, so you can go check that out. It's like we have the best of both worlds. It's like we don't have to own everything because you can own all this and we can do our campaigns and touch on that and have a great time, and we'll take forever to finish ATO, which is probably going to take way longer than KDM ever will. Yeah, but it got me considering because I'm like, I really like everything here. Like, to me, so far, the new stuff doesn't feel like there's a meta. There's been so many avenues of builds that it's like, I haven't stuck with the characters because I felt that was the route to go. I'm like, I just like the theme. I love my homicidalism, psycho character with the blade. Well, now he has Black Knight armor. Or Lantern armor.
Yeah.
But I have my whip character that has been pretty much, now he's an osteophage, so he's just a naked guy with the death mask and a whip. So I've made themed characters, but it hasn't been like, well, to win the game we have to go bow. We don't even have any ranged characters. We've tried
No, we
once.
did a little bit. Nothing crazy. Mostly stayed melee.
And then we got some new patterns, and it's like, oh man, do we actually try to build a fist and tooth character? That would be disgusting. Now we have a club character. We've done a lot more builds than I feel like previous Lantern campaigns that I've done,
Yeah. Yeah.
and all of them have felt valid.
I like the burgeoning node system. I think that'll be very nice.
That's
just you assign slots for different
Okay.
levels of monster to kind of so you have a more balanced campaign. 'Cause
That's right.
Before Gambler's Chest, before the nodes, it was like, okay, here's the core game. You own all the expansions. Sure, stack them all in. No one's gonna stop you.
Yeah.
So you just put all of it in there,
Which we did.
and you can just do all of it, and so everything is available.
Yeah, and because everything's available, you always feel like you're like underpowered because you're just kind of like touching on a little bit of everything.
I don't know. I felt like I accessed everything. I felt very powerful.
Oh, really?
It depends. I mean, my dragon campaign, we were
Oh,
gross.
Gotcha.
Absolutely disgusting, but really cool. A really fun campaign.
But the node system.
The node system, yeah. Where was I going with that? Yeah, just
You
that
can
you
just-
could have everything, hunt whatever, wherever. So then again, I know I could just fight a level 2. Dung beetle. Why would I ever go after level 3 Unix?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So I think I like the structure better.
Mhm.
The just do all of it because I could have the Manhunter. I could have the Flower Knight. Some of them have effects that nerf your campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now they
Yeah.
just feel. I feel like they figured it out. They figured out a way to balance it. You now, as the player in a game that's a lifestyle game, is no longer. They're not trying to control the difficulty.
Mhm.
They're like, you know what? You make your campaign.
Mhm.
You can now make it as easy or as hard as you want, and kind of tweak things. If the campaign's not going your way,
Mhm.
oh, okay, well let's modify it a little bit to make it a little bit
They
easier.
Definitely they leaned into the modularity. I mean, and that's just where you gotta go. It seems like a lot of the big popular games that are just keep getting expansions and whatnot are modular. And I
Yes.
think they sensed that, and now they're kind of creating it with the patterns, with the characters, with
Mhm.
the way they're introducing the monsters. So the monsters should be more modular.
Yes.
But it's like, so you can have custom campaigns, or you can have their finely curtailed, campaigns that they're unique.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm doing those every single time, because they've always been awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, short of People of the Lantern, which is a little dry.
Right.
But yeah, Dragon King, awesome, and so far I'm loving the People of the Dream, Keeper.
That's
yeah,
this one?
Both, yeah.
Okay.
So this is my third campaign total. Haven't done the Sunstalker one. Still need to do that.
You haven't done that.
Because that one,
Okay.
that one seems really neat. Boss
then-
rush at the end.
Oh,
It's like you get
gotcha.
no Nemesis until the end, and then it's a
Okay.
boss rush.
Which we just kind of went over a mini one, and that was actually fun because there was times where it's like, oh, we're so overpowered that can we just skip a lantern year? Like, there's no reason to fight a hunt query. So, which is kind of how the first campaign I ever did was, where it's like, there's this 5-year gap, we don't need to be doing anything. So why not just skip besides to get resources, or to potentially have us characters die, So I am still kind of like, man, the game went our way so well that it's like, dude, I don't want to do another 3-hour hunt. I know it's a level 3 and that goes all the way through the whole board. I don't want to sit here and do that because I just want to do the fight. I want to get to the new stuff. So that's not necessarily fixed, but I think that's more of that's just the way that our campaign has gone. That we could have easily been in a situation where it's like, okay, we need to go hunt something else because we're underpowered.
Right.
So this is the way the game can go. It is what it is. I like being in that situation, but at the same time, it's like, I want to go fight the gambler right now because he's new and we haven't seen him, and I want to see the new stuff. Even though he might suck, he might just die immediately. I don't know.
Right now, probably.
Yeah, but we might do an updated discussion after the whole campaign to talk about like the new things that we haven't quite touched on and the overall how the campaign went by the end. Hopefully that's not as long, but yeah, they're killing it.
Yep.
Um,
I'm optimistic. So
I am too.
glad I'm a fan. I was waffling there for a bit, but I'm glad it's paid off.
I am too. Yeah, one for you because there's so much money.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad that they didn't fuck you over.
Mm.
I'm glad that they didn't fuck anyone over, and the stuff is great. Because I just get to reap the benefits. And it would suck if, like, your favorite game just turns shitty. And it's like,
Yeah.
yay!
It's like I wanted some juicy board game, and I was like, do I get into wargaming? But then KDM came along, and we bought it together, and I was just like, I
You
love
were
this.
into it,
I was
yeah.
like, yeah, we played a couple of games. I'm like, I need to own all of this.
Yeah.
So then
And then you're like,
I walk away. It's like, so guys, you guys want to buy me out because I just bought all of it myself
right?
and all the expansions.
Yeah, you got everything, and then it's
God,
like first
double
one to
money.
rush to the KDM
People would
booth
look at me
Gen
funny at Gen Con and just like carrying the box with all the expansions.
Right?
I thought,
Man, you must have a lot of money. Then you have weirdos who were like, who were trying to be shitty at the Oathsworn booth, and then it's like, have you heard of KDM? Yeah, it's the best game ever made. You need to talk to this guy. I'm gonna go back to enjoying this. So now, if I don't think I can quite do a top 10 boss battlers, but KDM is again in contention because it's just great. I mean, I loved our discussion on comparing it to ATO. So yeah, it's relevant again, and I can't wait for you to get all the new stuff.
Oh yeah.
All
Yeah,
the, I mean, I want to do the Black Knight mini campaign. I want to do Frog Dog? Dog Frog?
Frog Dog.
Frog
Yep.
Dog?
Yep. Got his stuff. Just need to get him together.
Yeah, just want to touch on all that. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
No. I think we touched on it. It's a good time. We're enjoying it. They've done an upswing.
Like, I've been excited to play KDM coming here. It hasn't been like a... Now, normally if I'm getting exhausted from it, it's because I haven't slept all night, and I'm like, okay, it's starting to wear on me. But yeah, it's been a blast every time. Alright, well, on a scale of 1 to 10, what are you giving the Gambler's Chest?
No, 0. Hate it. Can't stand it.
Actually, it's trash. I'm selling it. You already sold it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still giving it a 10.
Yeah.
It's my game. It is the game.
Right.
Yeah.
I expected nothing else. What about the Vignette of Death, the Calenium Butcher? On a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah, they did a really good job with this one. I mean, my only comparison is the Giggle.
Yeah.
So, I mean, let's see here. It felt good, felt balanced. I like the interplay between the characters because we don't really build that way too much. It's nice to see some moving parts. Because I feel like we do a lot of glass cannons.
Yeah.
It just they don't really interplay, they don't play together. They
Yeah.
don't have to like warm up like some of them do.
Yeah, they don't have to sit
self
back.
regeneration, healing.
Right, draw aggro, and then gain strength to then give encouragement to them so they can do something.
She's got like the support where she can discard moves.
That's right.
And do some scouting. Whatnot. So yeah, all really cool, and then all play together really neat.
Yeah. So 10.
10, sure, we'll throw it at 10.
Yeah. I'm gonna agree. I'm actually gonna give the Gambler's Chest a 10 as well. Like I want to say 9, but with how impressed I am with, because again, I hated KDM. I was like and I am happy that there are many boss battlers and it's a popping off genre because I think that's part of the reason why they worked their ass off to improve it because they finally got
kind of the
competition.
first. Yeah,
It's like, well, we're the only ones. We got the monopoly, so we can kind of treat everyone like shit. Oh, there's better boss battlers coming out. Anyway, we're gonna reconstruct our entire system
Yeah.
that we're now in contention. Like normally, I still think I like other boss battlers better, but it's like this expansion is pretty fucking great. So like it'd be a 9, but with how impressed I am and how much fun I'm having, I am gonna bump it to a 10. The Vignette of Death. Yeah, I think you're right. I think the Butcher being fucking trapped the whole time, that was annoying because it's like I felt like we didn't really get to see the characters pop off because they were just constantly on the ground. But it took 30, 45 minutes to play. Like you could just set it up again and have it go a different.
Well, I mean, it wasn't a smear. He was competitive.
That's true.
And that's what you need sometimes.
Yeah.
To feel like a proper battle.
Yeah, and I understand that. Yeah, I've been jaded for so long of OP characters.
I know on our campaign we're smearing everything.
Yeah, this is what regular game. This is what the game's supposed to be like. I love Atlanta Year 16. So I do agree. I think I don't remember what I gave the Giga Lion. I
mean, I guess 10. I'm not sure.
I'm like an 8, 9.
That feels pretty right. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I don't know what else I want.
Whenever you were kind of like, ooh, depends on who gets the killing blow gets the ending, and then the ending was kind of just Simp Lord Brave over here, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of lame. No, we don't need your power anymore. We'll do it through friendship. Shut up.
I know there's some rare gear tied to
But
it.
we didn't unlock any of it because it was like either a party wipe or Brave is the only one left alive. It's kind of how it was. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's really Brave.
We did unlock the sexy cleaver mastery though. So that's pretty
Oh,
cool.
okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah. So what does that do?
So if you have, yeah, sure. You're the only one who's used cleaver so far, really.
No, you have. I haven't.
I used a butcher cleaver. You used your murder cleaver.
Oh, I guess that is a cleaver. You're
Yes.
right. Yeah. You can use cleaver proficiency while frenzied. When attacking with a cleaver, ignore 1 wound reaction during that attack. That is nice. Yeah, some of the special abilities have really made it to where like you can ignore a lot of reactions. You can do a bunch of stuff to where you're not at the whim of a deck draw or a card draw. It's brilliant. They really gave more player agency, which is what I've been asking for. Like that's one of the things of ATO I love so much is mitigation, and they've done that with KDM while still keeping true to its form. They didn't just sit there and be like, "Oh, it was too hard. All right, let's just make it, a cakewalk." They still kept true to its form. So I'll go with a 9. I'll bump it up to a 9.
Okay.
So the ending was just lame as hell. But yeah, that's our thoughts on the Gambler's Chest and the Big Net of Death. Let us know what you think of the expansion in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful day this for you. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you would like to see more of my content, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I upload any new content. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can go ahead and click that Patreon link to be taken to my Patreon, and any help is truly appreciated. Other than that, stick around for any other run-throughs or reviews or cool top 10s or whatever I feel like putting on. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.